Desperate calls for help being made public. You're going to hear the voices of the people who are hoping to save the lives of those who were trapped in that burning Cicero apartment building. 7 people died in that fire, and investigators are still trying to determine what caused it.
Tapes of the 911 calls were released just a short time ago by Cicero fire officials. ABC 7's Kevin Roy joins us live from Cicero now with more about these calls for help. Kevin?
Linda, the most interesting thing that we can say after hearing these 911 calls is the fact that it doesn't appear that anyone inside the burning building at the time made a call to 911 for help. There are no such calls on these tapes. Investigators don't have a very good explanation for that. They say that perhaps many people were asleep at the time. Here now is the very first 911 call made on Sunday morning as the fire was already out of control.
How can I help you? The building at 3034 South 48th Court is on fire. 3034 is on fire? Yes, 3034 South 48th Court is on fire.
The first 911 call came from someone outside the apartment building, a woman arriving to visit her mother at 6:28 Sunday morning. Firefighters say she may have saved many lives because many were asleep inside. Investigators say they received 911 calls from several people, and firefighters were on the scene within minutes. But even by then, the fire was raging out of control when they arrived. Investigators with the state fire marshal's office were back on the scene this morning, still searching for a cause. The fire that killed 7 people Sunday morning started in the back patio and traveled up to the attic where 5 of the victims were. Allison Gist lost 3 children and 2 grandchildren who were sleeping up there. She blames the landlord for having only one exit, a back staircase, which was cut off by flames.
I wanted to pay for everything that he took away from me. He took my children away because of the unsafety of the building.
Michael Ballard says he lived in this building for several years and considers his parents to be very lucky. He says they used to sleep up in the attic.
We knew the guy who owned the building. He went to my parents' wedding. And just long story short, I just know there's other things going on with him and his buildings that are not up to date, up to code.
Investigators are looking into many code violations here, including whether the detached garage Gary and Jeanette Conrad have been living in was illegal. Now staying in a Cicero motel, they say everything they owned was destroyed, and finding shelter with 2 dogs has been impossible.
To get shelter, we would have to give up the dogs and then get shelter ourselves, so they could get adopted out from somebody else. So we had to give them up completely, and we've lost everything else. Why would we want to give them up too?
The Conrads say they don't know where they'll go now. Their help from the Red Cross ends tomorrow. As for a cause of this fire, that remains undetermined so far. There was a report that gasoline had been smelled at the scene of the fire Sunday morning by a worker, but today at this news conference, the officials here discounted that report and said that they have no evidence that gasoline or any accelerant has been used. On the other hand, they have not ruled out arson. Live in Cicero, Kevin Roy, ABC 7 News. Linda?
Kevin, thanks very much.